Happy Monday, everybody. How's it going? You know, can you believe it's August? It's like I'm already seeing where kids are going back to school, and I'm starting to think, okay, hey, I mean, like, what can we do in our homes? What are we going to be thinking about as gifts? I'm getting ready for the holidays, and I just want you to know, we are launching 3 amazing molds today. You know, one of my taglines has always been crafting a beautiful life. And it's all about making things that are really beautiful that you can enjoy the bragging rights on. Hey, Carol. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Sherry. As you pop on here, say hey. Tell me where you're tuning in from. If you've never seen a maker studio pop up before, my name is Amy Howard and I'm the Mother Maker. And I love teaching you how to make things yourself. I love debunking the fact that you're going, I can't do that. I'm not crafty. I'm not creative. And it's like, yes, you can. And it's like with the right tools and with the right processes, there's so many things that you can make. And what I'm going to show you today, this is no exaggeration. There are gals on Instagram that are selling what I am showing you how to do today for hundreds of dollars a piece. They have actually started businesses in doing this for brides, bridesmaids, gifts, wedding gifts, all kinds of things. And I'm going to show you how to be able to do that, and it's so much fun. So look, but I've got something on I wanted to show you. Look at this. If you didn't watch me last week, I showed you how to be able to make one of our decoupage resin purses. Look at this. Are you ready? Hey, Tiffany. Hey, girl, you're from Memphis. Look at this. Is this the cutest little purse? So you can't see me. I've got on white jeans, and I thought, how cute is this? I'm just going to put this on. I'm not going to show you how to make this today. I'll have to pop on here another day this week and show you. But this is one of our resin molds. This is a round one. The other one that I showed you last week is actually a rectangle, but is this the cutest thing you've ever seen? So I thought, I'm just going to put this on. I want you to be able to see, because it's such a fun and easy project to do. So, but today, what I wanted to be able to show you, look at this. This truly is one of, these are some of the most chic things I think we've ever had at a maker studio. If you've seen resin blocks of things, now just use your imagination. What can go in here? You can float a photograph. You can float a family photograph in here. You can, let's say, now this was something that I had actually put together when, I don't know if y'all remember, but Jean's mom passed away a few months ago. And you think at the funeral, you have all these gorgeous flowers, or if you have a wedding, or if you have a birthday, or so many times if you have somebody that gives you a birthday gift, like a bouquet, and you're like, I just hate the idea of these things dying and not remembering them. The elements for your anniversary, trips, maybe you get seashells from a beach vacation. You can put those in here, and these become beautiful paperweights. These become beautiful gifts. These are very upscale, and these are very expensive if you buy them in high-end home decor shops. That's why I think I'm so excited about showing you how to make these. So resin blocks are a beautiful way of creating keepsake things that are, I believe, incredibly exquisite. You could have a whole series of these and to be able to put them on your bookcase, your bookshelves laying on your desk, on your nightstand, whatever. It's just absolutely fabulous. Hey, Julie. Hey, Debbie. As you pop on here, say hey. Tell me where you're tuning in from. And I'm really bad, but every time I do lives, I give stuff away. We're posting the winner from last week today who won our purse. And here's how we roll. We love teaching. We love our creative community or our tribe. And it's like, we're all kind of cut out of the same cloth. We love making things. We love creating things. And in that, I always say that sharing is caring. So share this video, tag 3 friends, and your name goes in for a drawing. And I'm going to be giving one of these molds and the resin away for you to be able to make it yourself. That makes it a lot more fun. So also, these beautiful resin blocks that we're launching today. Hey, Debbie. The resin blocks that we're launching today, I want to show you. There's several. There's one. This is the smaller one that you can do seashells, and you know, use your imagination. I mean, as far as a child's picture that you want to be able to keep forever, like one of their pieces of artwork, whatever it is, you can put in these resin blocks and it makes them absolutely awesome. Now, look at this. We've got the smaller block mold that we're doing. We have a larger mold. I'm getting ready to show you how to do this. Look at this. This is my favorite. Only because if you've got somebody that is getting married, and they've got their bouquet, and a great way to be able to keep it forever. Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to take this out of here. Hey, Deborah from Florida. Hey, girl. I don't know if you know, I'm actually in Florida too. All right, so I want to take this out. I want you to see. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, is this not incredible? Now, imagine, what if this were your bridesmaid's bouquet? What if this was your bride's bouquet? What if this was a beautiful flower arrangement for your 20th wedding anniversary that you're like, I can't let these die and not do anything with them. This makes them to where you can dry them in silica and then you can put them in these resin blocks and it makes for a beautiful piece of art. You can lay this on your cocktail table with some gorgeous books. Just give me a shout. Tell me, guys, do y'all not think this is absolutely amazing? I love it. I absolutely love it. Hey, Christine, as you pop on here, say hey. So here's the deal. Share this video, tag 3 friends. Your name's going to go on for a drawing, and I'm going to be giving away this mold. Let's go on and give away this large square mold to be able to make your own flowers. And I'm going to be giving you the resin and the hardener along with it. Okay, that's a pretty sweet deal, and all you have to do is share this video and tag some friends. So I want to show you how to create this, because I don't know about y'all, is this not the most amazing piece? Now, there's a gal, I'm not going to say because I don't want to hurt anybody's business, because there are some great gals out there. They will do these resin blocks and they'll charge upwards of $400 for them. But you're sending your bouquet to them and then they pour it up in the resin and it makes a beautiful gift later. So you may go, this could actually be a side hustle for me. What? There's nothing more fun than being able to be creative and create a side hustle that you can turn around and do things that you love and that makes a difference in the life of the person that you are giving it to. So I want to show you how to do this. So I'm going to pop this back in my mold. So those of you, if you don't know, we're launching these 3 molds today. We have the smaller mold like this that allows you to be able to create smaller projects. Then we've got the larger one that I just showed you. Then we have one, this is a process. This one is in process. This is a hexagon. And these are actually just letters. You can imagine this is going to go to a cute girl at Ole Miss. This way she can just use your imagination as far as what you could put on these, but that way this will be a clear acrylic stand. This would be a real thick block that she can put on her desk. You could totally put letters that deal with sororities, anything. Use your imagination. It's crazy what all we can do with this. So the hexagon, the large square, and the smaller one. All right, so let's show you how to be able to create the larger mold. I'm going to turn this down. As you pop on here, say hey, tell me where you're tuning in from, and ask me a question. I'll always come back, and that way I'll answer your questions, because one, I want you to do this. I want you to come into the world of resin. If you're like, Amy, I love using the stencils. Amy, I love doing the inks. I love making t-shirts. I love making aprons and tea towels and stuff. I've never done that. I've never done the resin, and I'm scared half to death. Stop. I want you to do this, because one, it's so much fun. It's so rewarding, and it looks fantastic, and it looks very expensive. All right, so I'm going to turn this down, and I want to walk you through the process of how to do this. So this is the mold that I'm going to be working with. One thing I do want you to do, it's always good to just use some gloves to be able to work with. One, because I don't want the resin on your hands. Is it going to hurt you? Well, it's kind of like working with a hot glue gun. I mean, as far as the it's sticking to you and cleaning it, that I really prefer just using gloves. The other thing I want you to do is, when you can order these off of a Maker Studio, order the larger silicone cups. That's going to make this project a lot easier as well. So the other thing, when we're working on large blocks like this, You also want to be able to order the larger 16-ounce hardener and resin kit. These come as a kit. We call them a kit because you have to use them together. By themselves, the hardener or the resin is no good. But when you mix them together, that's when the magic starts to happen that allows you to be able to create gorgeous works of art like this. And I really do look at it as a piece of art. I think they're fantastic. So I'm going to go on and put my surgical gloves on just to be able to protect my hands. So if you order these off Amazon, just a little tip, make sure you get the extra large, because I don't know why, but they're just tiny, and Jean Howard gets them for me, and I'm like, honey, I gotta have those big gloves. So I always order the extra large surgical gloves. And I'm sorry for the blue color, but that's all I have. All right, so now I'm gonna move this away. I wanna just show you really quickly. So I'm gonna be working with the two larger ones. There's a small resin and a large resin. You need to, if you're gonna be doing the larger blocks, we're gonna need these bigger ones. So I'm gonna be taking my hardener and I'm gonna pour that into my measuring cup. So I prefer you pour them into their own containers. Don't use one and try to measure. The other thing is you'll see the measurements on the side. This has to be exact. When you're working with resin, you want to make sure that it's the exact measurement. I don't need a little bit of one more than the other because it will miss up the chemical composition. All right, so I'm gonna go on. You know what, I'll go on and mix up all of this. The other thing is, don't worry when you're pouring it, don't worry about the bubbles. I'm gonna walk you through the process as far as getting rid of the bubbles when we actually go into making our blocks. All right, so now we're gonna take our resin. The hardener is thinner. It pours easier, it goes faster. And I just realized something. Gene, could I have, there you go, thank you so much. Gene is here with me and he's actually thought of something, which I'll share with you in just a minute why. See how much thicker my resin is. It's really, really thick. So I'm just gonna kind of have to hold this for a minute and let some of this come out. As you pop on here, please say hey, tell me where you're tuning in from. My name is Amy Howard and I am the mother maker here at A Maker Studio. And one of the things that I love the most is teaching you how to be able to craft a beautiful life. All right, so I wanna make sure that you can see this. Hey, babe, could you set up your laptop for me so that way I could see? All right, so now I've got a larger container because I'm gonna need to be able to mix these both together. So let's go on and I'm gonna pour in my resin first because my resin is thicker, it's slower, and I've just got a paint stick here. You can use a craft stick. Normally once when I use the wood, I'll throw it away. If you wanna use a silicone spatula, you can go to like Dollar Tree and get silicone spatulas, and they're great for this because the silicone does not stick to the resin. So it makes it perfect as far as being able to clean it. It's just an easy cleanup. All right, so now I'm gonna go in and take my hardener and I'm gonna pour this in. You see why now I needed the larger container. So now I'm gonna start to blend these. As you can kind of tell, you'll start to see it's kind of cloudy. Some of it's more clear. But as I start to mix it together, it'll start to fuse. The hardener and the resin itself will start to fuse together and all of it will look kind of cloudy. The other thing is, make sure when you're mixing it that you don't do it too fast because I don't want to create bubbles. So I will just continue to blend this like this. And I would like for you to just get a timer on your phone. I want you to be able to mix this for 3 minutes. because a lot of people will go, well, I did it for like 30 seconds and it looked pretty good. Guys, trust me on this. It's really, really important that you make sure that you blend this for about 3 minutes to make sure it's all dispersed and it all becomes one. And the other thing is the measuring aspect of it. You've got to make sure that it's identical, that you've got the same as hardener and the same resin, because then that way, if you have more resin than hardener, then your block is not going to be as hard. All right, so as you pop on here, say hey, tell me where you're tuning in from. We're going over our new fantastic molds. We've got a small, a large block, and then we've got a hexagon. We've got 3 beautiful shapes. We've actually put a bundle for you together so that way you can save money. Because I'm just going to tell you, this is a perfect business for those of you that want to be able to do something creative. Because brides, anything you want to be able to create something that you've gotten, like flowers as a memento, this is perfect to be able to put into these blocks. All right, so now I wanted to make sure my hardener and my resin got blended really, really well. Those of you that don't know, all resin is not alike. Our resin is a non-yellowing resin, which means you can enjoy this for years to come and it's going to stay beautiful and clear. There's a lot of less expensive resins out there that cannot tell you that. So we're all, at a maker studio, we're kind of obsessed with quality and we want to make sure that you're not going to have any problems. All right, so now let's go on. I'm going to pull this over. One thing that you want to do when you're working with your block, if you can see this here, you can work with dried flowers and you can work with fresh flowers. If you work with fresh flowers, I just want to make sure that you dry them in silica first. So as a rule, let's just say I've got these that are silk flowers. And you know, the funny thing is, a lot of bridesmaids, I've noticed, are using silk flowers for their bouquets. So it makes it really a nice thing. Don't think because it's silk, and you know, even wood flowers, a lot of brides are using wood flowers. So totally use that. It's about keeping the memento. It's about having something that you can remember and being able to have it in this keepsake like this. All right, so now I'm going to go on and remove these because I want to show you what we need to do when we're going to lay our flowers down. We're going to need to pour a little bit in first for them to adhere to. So I'm going to take my mixture and I'm going to pour a little out. And what I was telling you about the silica, when you have fresh flowers, you want to put them in silica. You can get silica at a hardware store. Please wear a respirator when you're working with silica. And you can lay the silica into an airtight container, lay in your flowers. I pour a little bit of silica down. I'll lay in my flowers and then I will cover up my flowers one at a time. And I'll go in and I'll kind of spread that silica. I need to do a video on this for you guys. I'll spread that around because I want to make sure that my petals are nice and open. And then that way, after I've dried them in the silica for a couple of weeks, I'll be ready to lay down in here. So you'll notice what I've done is I've poured into about 1/8 of the way my resin. So I'm going to set my flowers into my resin like this. So let's just pretend these are either my my fresh flowers that I have dried in silica, or maybe these are silk flowers, or maybe these are wood flowers. And so you want to just be able to lay them around so you feel there's a composition. And then it's always fun to be able to come back with your greenery. Always save some of that. And then lay your greenery in and around for your composition in your block. So have fun with it. It's about layering, it's about building it up. And then also where you've got enough color and composition, depending on what the arrangement looks like and what you want to be able to remember. So lay it all in here and then allow it to dry 24 hours. Now let me show you where we are after this. So I'm going to set this under my table. Now, These were actually done in different colors, but I think you still have the idea as far as what it looks like. So after it's dried overnight, look what it looks like. So it literally looks like this thin sheet of acrylic, and my flowers, the stems of my flowers are sticking in it. So now, after that's done, now we're ready for step 2. So I'm gonna go on and put this back in my mold. All right. So now I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna pour the resin on top of the flowers. So this is dried for 24 hours. They're nice down in here, and now we're gonna cover it up. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna go into the areas where there are no flowers first. When you're wanting to do a large block like this, you're gonna wanna have 2 kits. Now, again, I don't know if you remember me saying the 16 ounce, this is a 32 ounce kit. You're gonna need 2 of these when you're doing the large block resins. So this is 16 ounces of hardener and 16 ounces of resin. So I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna mix these up again. I'm gonna use the whole container. And please don't get anxious and say, I'm just gonna pour it in here and mix it. The agitation process and what we need to do in making sure that the hardener and the acrylic are blended are very, very important. And again, when I do it, I normally do the resin first because it's thicker, and then I pour the hardener in, and it's just a lot easier to be able to blend. So I'm mixing this up together. And I'm cheating a little bit on my time because as a rule, I want to make sure that this is stirred up really well for about 3 minutes. I cannot tell you the importance of that 3 minutes. Gene's like getting his clock out, and he's like, I'm gonna time you. Hey guys, as you pop on here, tell me where you're tuning in from. I love seeing where all of y'all are watching from. I think it's so fun. We have clients from and customers all over the world. It's so fun to see people tuning in from everywhere from South Africa to Canada to Provence, Australia. It's so fun. It just goes back to say we love crafting. It's a part of our passion. It's part of who we are. All right, so I'm continuing to blend this. I want to do it just a little bit more. I don't know if y'all heard me. If you share this video and tag 3 friends, your name goes in for a drawing, and I am giving away this mold and the resin to be able to make it. I'm going to send you the resin and the hardener with the mold to be able to create this. I'd love for you to go on our Facebook page, Crafting a Beautiful Life, and share this with everybody. All right, so now let's go in, and I'm going to continue to flood this. I did notice this little flower had kind of come loose. So I'm gonna hold him down. If you're just now popping on, I really wish you would go back and watch, because I show you this first setup that we need to do as far as making sure that our flowers are all set in place. Okay, you know what, guys? I am actually going to need just a little bit more. So I'm going to go on and mix up a little bit more resin because I want to make sure that this goes all the way on top of these flowers. These flowers are really, really thick and bushy and gorgeous. Again, I don't know if you're just now popping on. You can use wood flowers. You can use flowers that you have dried. You can use silk flowers. It's all about the memento. If you have, if you've saved flowers from a loved one's funeral or a wedding or 20th wedding anniversary, There's so many different things that we can do to be able to put in these resin blocks. You can actually lay it down like we did in lieu of the flowers. You can lay pictures in here. You could do a picture collage. You could do, this would be even something great as far as having wedding photos. Anything that's a memento that you want to remember. Maybe some seashells from your honeymoon. It's perfect to be able to put in that picture, to be able to remember and set it on your desk as a paperweight. These are fantastic paperweights, by the way. All right, so I just needed a little bit more. So that allows me to be able to pour it up all the way over my flowers. Make sure that your flowers aren't too high, that they're going to be able to be covered up with the resin. So I'm going to take some of these and I'm going to just kind of press that flower down in there because I want them completely covered up. See how I can just lay that down? They don't have to stick up. You can press them down. That way we make sure they're all inside the resin. So now we need to make sure that we allow this to dry overnight. If it's, and here's a little caveat. If you've got a lot of humidity, which right now we do here in Florida, you want to make sure that this dries probably 48 hours, 2 days. So the humidity will affect what it is that you're working on. So I want to be able to just cover this up. And now after it's dried for 2 days, because it's so thick, look at this. Now we're just going to pull the mold out like this. And we have a gorgeous, gorgeous acrylic block. I don't know about y'all, but I'm just going to tell you what. I think this is truly one of the most classic looking decor items. I could totally see going into Nordstrom's or Gump's or any one of these really high-end home decor shops and seeing these laying there as things to be able to put on your desk, in your bookcase, anything. See how easy it is? Let me see if I can pull this up so I can talk to y'all. So it's so easy. It's so fun. It's kind of, there's a proofness to it in the fact that you can't mess it up. Here's the deal. If you make sure you measure it exactly, if you make sure that you stir it for 3 minutes, and then make sure that it dries to cure, don't pull it out of the mold before it's had a chance to actually cure, then you're gonna be just fine. So, I don't know about you, but our tagline of enjoying the bragging rights, this is kind of a big deal. This is a great Christmas gift. When you talk about making something that doesn't look crafty, but it looks upscale and absolutely beautiful, this is it. So today we're launching these 3 molds. We're gonna sell out. We've got our large block, we've got our smaller mold, and then we've got our hexagon. So that way you've got 3 different alternatives, 3 different ways to be able to do it. And it's time for you to get started and enjoy the bragging rights. Have a great day, everybody. Share this video, tag some friends. Your name will go in for a drawing. Day after tomorrow, we're going to be announcing the winner to be able to give them, we're going to even pay for shipping, of sending you the block mold as